Well, the second lap was hurt by what happened on the first lap too. Not only because Jason lost his confidence.
On the pole.
Well,
that's a bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, you can use that as far as a motivational tool, but probably not for long.
He not only lost his confidence with that sideways venture through 3 and 4, he also lost all of his momentum. So when he came back to the white flag, he didn't have the speed that he came to the green flag with.
And then it looked like he was conservative going in 3 on that last lap as well. So no sense taking a chance. He knows he's locked in the field.
I like that call.
All 30 of the first trucks that go out onto the racetrack are guaranteed in the field for tonight's race. There are only 8 trucks that have to race their way in, and they will have to beat 2 other trucks. So there's 6 that will make it into the field out of the final 8. Let's go back trackside. Ray Dunlap.
Oh, when you start talking about 1.5 miles, you got to look at the youngin. He's got 8 victories on these kind of racetracks. What'd you learn today in practice? How good's your racetrack?
The racetracks, you know, it's typical Charlotte. It's really sensitive to heat, but we learned that we were way too loose. And Mike Jr. made some adjustments here to qualify. Hopefully it'll be good for the race. But we went to Darlington this week, really worked on getting this Lumber Liquidators Tundra to turn in the middle of the corner. Got here and we were turning too good, so we had to undo some of that stuff, and we really never got caught up to it. So we kind of rolled the dice a little bit here, and hopefully this Tundra will run fast.
All right, we'll be watching tonight, and one guy looked like he was pretty loose down in 4. That was Donnie Lee, and I believe Adams found him.
Yeah, he's got a little momentum coming in, back-to-back top 12 finishes, but you had your hands full in the qualifying laps there. Tell us what happened.
Just loose. We've been tight all day, and we just threw a bunch at it there, and we think it's going to tighten up even more later. So I think we'll be good if it tightens up later, because we're real loose right now. You know, I mean, I had my hands full the first lap, and actually my out lap, first lap and second lap. I thought it'd tighten up a little bit there, you know, and it just didn't. So, but the guys are working hard, and we're going to get beat pretty bad there, but we'll be starting in the rear, I'm sure, but we'll be okay.
Donnie Lee trying to reel it in for the race later tonight.
Shelby Howard on the clock, his second lap, a little slower than the first. 30.998 is his lap of record, and that puts Shelby Howard on the provisional pole. Next up will be Johnny Benson, Scott Speed, and John Wood when we return.
American Le Mans Series returns to Speed Sunday. And take your turn in the driver's seat with Speed Onboard Pass, presented by Acura. Don't miss ALMS from Salt Lake City, live Sunday, 3 Eastern, only on
DW. You're going to love the changes that David and I have made to the Aaron's Dream Machine. Comfortable reclining seat, onboard computer, awesome sound system.
It's a rolling Aaron's store.
The Aaron's car of tomorrow.
If you want brand new name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers all in one place and with no credit checks, shop Aaron's.
Hey, Mikey, where do you want these?
In the car, of course.
You know, Mikey, I'm starting to like this car.
Do the math. Nobody beats Aaron.
At J.G. Wentworth, we say get cash now for your structured settlement.
J.G. Wentworth? Cash now?
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
J.G. Wentworth is right. It's my money and I need it now.
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 If you have a structured settlement and you need cash now, J.G. Wentworth can help. We'll buy all or part of your structured settlement for a lump sum cash amount, so you can pay bills that have piled up as a result of an injury or an inability to work. Call J.G. Wentworth now and speak to one of our structured settlement specialists. You'll get a no-cost appraisal and have all of your questions answered. The call is free and there's no obligation.
It's my money and I need it now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call 866-492-6203. 866-492-6203.
Don't miss the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race tomorrow for your chance to play the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Watch and Win contest. One grand prize winner will win a trip to the 2009 All-Star Race and much, much more. Log on to speedtv.com for more details. Johnny Benson on the racetrack for his qualifying effort.
Expect some big speed out of this truck. He's always tough on these big tracks.
Johnny's had 3 top 4 finishes this year. Then the other 2 finishes have been 25th or lower, so that's why Johnny's not up there right now hunting for that top spot in the points.
He's wobbling all over the place.
Start-finish line, he goes by in 31.090 seconds. That's second quick of the 4 that have been on the racetrack. Johnny Benson back in 05 finished 4th in this race, but last year it was 27th, and I'm sure that's something he wants to erase off of his memory banks.
Yeah, he's gonna abort that effort. He was even more out of shape down in 1 and 2 that time.
He was fixing to wipe out if he didn't give up, and wow, that truck was loose. And these guys are setting their truck. They know they're going to be a little loose right now because the track temperature will cool down when they get ready to race tonight. And if they're too tight now, they'll worry themselves to death between now and the start of the race, wondering how they're going to get over that, how they're going to fix that when the track conditions cool off. So while Johnny's lap was disappointing, I'm sure, I bet he gets out and we'll hear that same thing. Well, we're too loose now. We think that'll pay off tonight.
How about this guy? Let's go down to Ray Dunlap and see if they've put a tapered spacer on his truck. He was pretty fast in practice earlier.
Yeah, he was fast, and he's talking it over with Jeff Hensley a bit here. I've heard a rumor that there's a special event going on here, something about a banner sales deal in May, right?
Banner sales event, yes. How about that paint scheme?
It's very different. You're not really knowing that that's a Mike Skinner truck.
Looks like one of my late model stock cars I used to drive. It's pretty cool. That truck's sweet. We're not running that good today, but you know, the last couple of years our truck has been perfect in practice and perfect in qualifying, and then we get really, really loose during the race. So our truck's awfully tight. Hopefully it frees up tonight.
Well, that might pay off because we've heard everybody saying loose, loose, loose so far here in qualifying.
Here's a kid who continues to get better. 3 races in the Truck Series, 3 improvements each time out.
Second quickest so far on lap number 1, 31.055. Scott Speed had a good top 10 run at Kansas in only his second truck race ever. Doing a great job in this Bill Davis Red Bull Toyota.
Heard from Mike Skinner, heard from Johnny Benson, and now we're watching Scott Speed on the racetrack. The 3 Bill Davis Racing entries. He did a wider line there through 3 and 4.
I think he had to come up off the gas. I believe he felt it slipping out from underneath of him.
Lap number 2 for Scott Speed. Not an improvement, actually slows down about a half a second, 0.4 of a second. So second quick is the best Scott Speed will be able to do, and that was on his first lap.
Okay, I need you to define that.
That means
Phil.
it's tight. Understeer is tight in road racing terms, and so that's a little bit of a departure from the rest of the guys that we've talked to.
Well, we heard Skinner say something I thought was interesting, that his truck was too tight and he thought it'd get freer tonight. That's a little bit different from the norm thinking. Most people feel like the track tightens up at night. Mike's thinking the opposite. And he's pretty smart. He's looked pretty good here the last couple of years.
I talked to Jeff Hensley just a few moments ago, and he said the same thing that Mike did, but I also talked to Rick Wren, and Rick said his truck never changed last year from practice, just got more grip, ran faster, but the balance never changed.
Yeah, I think you want a good balance right now, and you'll just pick up grip tonight and go faster.
Air Force Ford F-150 now on the clock for John Wood. John Wood's best finish this season, a 10th. His best qualifying effort was 11th. That was at California, our second race of the season.
Looks like that one's understeering as well. He went straight up the hill off 2 over there.
Caught the truck there.
A little wiggle there.
Now he's oversteering, which is loose.
It's going to hurt this lap.
That man.
As you talk about it, it's going to hurt the second lap as well, because he was not up to speed when he got to the start-finish line like he would have had he got through 3 and 4 well.
Oh, he's all over the racetrack now, and he decides that's it. I give up.
That's wise.
So a couple guys after their first lap decided they can't get any better and stop after that. Johnny Benson, John Wood, 3rd and 4th in the qualifying. When we come back, David Starr and Todd Bodine.
Grand Am returns.
Look at this, side by side.
This weekend on Speed.
A lot of damage in that area.
When the Rolex Sports Car Series twist the corkscrew at Laguna Seca.
He hates to be passed.
Sunday, 12 Eastern, only on Speed.
This Memorial Day, race fans everywhere will salute the troops. Participating race teams will run Salute the Troops cars that will carry this special insignia. It's the insignia that represents a soldier's commitment.
Salute the troops and get my Memorial Day diecast at GoRacing.com.
A portion of every Salute the Troops merchandise sale will directly benefit the brave soldiers and their families.
You're going to love this new computer. The processor's like 3 gigawatts.
Gigahertz.
And it's got a magical drive.
Optical drive.
And it's got 2 gigs of sheep.
RAM?
All I know is this baby is screaming fast.
Maybe it needs more sheep.
Your computer's only as fast as the network it's connected to. Step up to Verizon high-speed internet and get the speed and security only the Verizon network can bring. Call or go online for the best value in broadband, with internet speeds up to 20 times faster than dial-up, plus 24/7 live technical support from Verizon, all for one amazing low price. And when you sign up today, you'll get a free month of our Verizon Internet Security Suite, the most advanced protection available, plus our online backup and sharing services. Want the speed and reliability only the Verizon network can bring? Call 1-800-409-2515. Or for the best deal, visit Verizon.com/best offer today. Verizon, it's the network.
With the Sprint fan vote, you can help put your favorite driver in the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race tomorrow night. Just text the word NASCAR to 7777 on your Sprint phone for details. You can also go to a Sprint retail store, the Sprint website, or NASCAR.com for more information.
But when you use your Sprint phone and text 7777 to NASCAR, the vote counts double. And breaking news, I learned how to do it. You text 7777. That's where you send it to. You write the word NASCAR, and then they'll send you an email back, which gives you the link to vote for yourself if you're on there.
And that's what you did.
Which is what I did.
Is what you did.
I did it twice, and if I do my math properly, that's roughly 4 votes.
Well, why could you expect somebody to vote for you if you wouldn't vote for yourself? So
Exactly.
I totally agree with you.
I'm liking what you're saying. Man, these trucks are loose. I figured we would see that. You know, we're right here in the middle of the day. They're set up to race tonight. They almost have to be loose right now.
Real high air pressures right now on these tires, trying to get that maximum grip. Most of them have looked like they've not got the maximum grip.
Somebody's going to hit this combination right in a minute and run about a second faster than anybody has so far.
David Starr slows down on his second lap, so his fastest lap, his first lap, 31.287. That's good enough for 4th quick of the 7 that have been on the racetrack. Let's go back down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, the guy who very well may be the first to really hit this combination is Colin Brown. You guys were great in practice. How good's your racetrack?
Well, I think it's going to be really good tonight. You know, this number 6 Conway Freight 450 team's been doing a really good job. You know, we've been able to run the same truck on all these 1.5-mile, 2-mile tracks lately, so been able to really work on it, make it a lot better, and looking forward to tonight. You know, the guys been working really hard, and I think we have a good racetrack here. Definitely a little tight down there in turn 3 and 4, but I guess everybody's struggling with that, so we'll see how it shakes out tonight. Should be fun.
Okay, good luck to you. That's Colin Brown, one of the young rookies in this series, leading the Ray Bestest Rookie of the Year points right now. Adam?
And Scott Speed, second of the 7 trucks that have been on the racetrack. And you weren't overly excited when you got out of the truck. Tell us what happened in the qualifying run.
No, it was all right. It was just quite a bit tighter than we thought. I mean, we pushed up quite a lot in 3 and 4. I think the wind is pushing a bit harder, and it's a little gusty. Maybe we got unlucky with that, but it wasn't exactly what I, let's say, expected. But our car is good. I mean, in the race runs we did right at the end of the session, it was good.
And he was 9th in practice this morning, guys, so optimistic for the race tonight is Scott Speed.
You know, Bodine now on the track.
Something I liked what Colin Brown said, and this is something my brother taught me when I was a young man, just learning how to do this. He said, race your car to the finish, take it home and work on it. Make it better. Learn what it takes to run all 200 miles tonight, and then let your guys tune on that thing after the race to make it better next time. He said they've been able to run that same truck over and over. They've worked on it and improved it, and he likes what he has.
Todd is also going to abort his second lap. Lap number 1 is 31.314, 172.447, and that will be 5th of the 8 trucks that have been on the racetrack.
Are you guys surprised seeing these guys one and done?
I think they're getting all they want. I mean, they know
more than they want.
More than they want. They know their truck isn't going to improve that much. You know, if you're a little bit off on the first lap, certainly you want to take the second lap and try to improve your time. But darn, when you lose that time off turn 4, like we've seen some of these guys do, your RPM, you come across the start-finish line, you look at your RPM, it's down a couple of hundred from what you're used to seeing. You could drive through the corner basically wide open and not be able to make up that time you had already lost.
Right. Now it's Dennis Setzer's turn. Let's see if he has hit the setup.
It's a good-looking paint job on that truck.
It is Tahoe, I think smokeless tobacco is what Dennis has on board that BHR truck. Winner at Martinsville, as you can see right there. earlier this year.
That was a clinic. Not surprisingly, Dennis Setzer's put on a mini clinics on half-mile short tracks in the Southeast, and he just did a perfect job. Their strategy worked fine, worked perfectly, and he drove that truck as good as could be driven.
Never spun a tire, never anything. Just a flawless race Dennis ran in Martinsville.
Amazingly enough, for some reason, every time you see Dennis Setzer's truck in victory lane on a short track, it doesn't have a scratch on it. He doesn't touch anyone. He doesn't bump into anyone, and he just stays out of the way of any problems.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to the crew on that one as well, because they did their homework. They knew how far they could go on gas. They felt confident about their strategy, and they stuck to their guns. They pitted early, got it over with, and then he laid out there and dominated the second half of the race.
First lap for Dennis Setzer, 7th quick of the 9 that have been on the racetrack. He looks like he's going to try for a second lap.
Going to a place next week that Dennis won Mansfield last year, 250 lap race, never pitted the entire race.
That's the first time since they started pitting trucks in the, used to they had competition, yeah, and you didn't pit, but that's the first time a race has ever been won with the current format of how the races are run.
Doesn't improve on lap number 2, so we haven't seen improvement on the second laps of these trucks. And Dennis Setzer stays the same at 7th quick of the 9 that have been on the racetrack. Coming up, it's going to be one of the best qualifiers in the series. Mike Skinner is next on the track.
To master the great outdoors, the pros choose Husqvarna for exceptional power and performance, precision, and amazing control. Master your great outdoors with the same power and performance demanded by the pros. Husqvarna, professionally proven outdoor power equipment. Visit masteryourgreatoutdoors.com to learn more.
Squirrels?
Squirrels.
Repellents and fertilizers. That'll bring your garden back.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right, start here. Visit truevalue.com/TV for a free $5 coupon. Print your $5 coupon at truevalue.com/TV.
Loctite Power Grab grabs instantly, with 9 times higher initial hold than the leading brand, without bracing and without hammering. Loctite Power Grab. Project solved.
When your engine's running clean, you feel it. And Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil cleans 3 times better than the leading conventional oil. Our ultimate clean for your ultimate feeling. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
So, Bill, how do we know when it's time to replace our life jackets?
It's time.
Get great tips on boating, hiking, camping, and more during the Bass Pro Shops National Go Outdoors event.
Welcome back. Here are your top 5 in the qualifying thus far of the North Carolina Education Lottery 200 qualifying. It's Shelby Howard and Scott Speed 1 and 2, but Mike Skinner now on the racetrack to see if he can upset those 2 up top.
I think he will. He got through turns 1 and 2 extremely well, Phil.
He's had the last 3 poles here. He started 3rd the first time he came here in 2004, so that was pretty much of a disappointment to him.
This is a pole run here, no doubt. That truck looked really good.
And he does it. 30.717.
Well, that was Jeff Hensley's watch.
Hensley's watch said 68.
Crew chiefs always have a little quicker watch than the computers do.
And Jeff gives Mike that information so Mike can decide if he thinks he needs to run another lap or not. That's a 68. Mike said, darn, I think I got a little bit more in me than that.
It may be a situation where Jeff may be clocking
it up the track, guys.
Yeah. Look, that's probably going to hurt this lap. Yeah, he's going to essentially abort this second lap here.
30.92 for Mike Skinner. So his first lap, the quickest of the qualifying effort.
He's making a prediction there that I bet you he thinks that 51 truck of Kyle Busch will go a half a second faster than that.
How about going for the record? 3-time pole sitter at Lowe's, most consecutive poles at a track, 4 at Texas, and 40 career poles. Leading all drivers is Mike Skinner. The guy can qualify.
He certainly can, but he can also win some races too. Now he's won 24 of these things.
He sure has. Let's go back down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Chad McCumbie's a busy guy here over the next couple of days. You've got a big night with the marathon guys in the Sprint All-Star race tomorrow night, and tonight, Craftsman Truck Series racing. You guys were very, very good in practice. What's your prediction for qualifying?
You know, it's hard to say. It looks like a lot of guys are slipping and sliding. So, you know, we'll just go out there and get us a good lap. We've got a fairly good race truck, I think, and wasn't really sure on what kind of speed we could run there in qualifying. We did kind of make a semi-run there in practice, and I wasn't super happy with it, but these guys always pull out something for me there in qualifying, so I think we'll be okay.
It only matters how good you go in the race. Chad McCumbie getting ready to jump into his number 8 truck, and now let's go back down pit road to Double A.
And I guess the best way to describe John Wood's qualifying run, defensive driving. 1 lap and you said, I quit. Tell us what happened in the run, John.
You heard me say that, huh?
I heard it.
Yeah. No, I tell you what, we've got an awesome truck, and my guys have done an incredible job. It was a new truck, and we've just been ironing out some bugs. But again, everyone at the shop's done an awesome job getting this thing ready. It's fast. It just takes a long time to come in. We decided to forego a qualifying run in practice. We didn't even scuff tires, electing to try to get our race package a lot better, and I think we've done that. So this wasn't a foreseen event, but in the back of my mind, I kind of thought maybe it would happen.
And John currently 7th of the 11 trucks that have been on track.
Scott Lagasse 9th quick in his qualifying effort. His first lap is fastest at 31.658. So 11 trucks have been on the track. Scott Lagasse 9th quick. Scheduled to go out next, Landon Castle in the number 46. And a reminder, NASCAR Day. Telethon continuing. Bobby Labonte is answering phones from 4 to 4:15. All you do is call in at 888 May 16th. That's 888-629-1684. Green flag in the air for Landon Castle as he attempts to qualify his 46. Tries to get up toward the top of this field.
GoDaddy.com, the sponsor on this truck. He's going to run this truck here and at Mansfield. Had a great run at Kansas in his first ever truck race. Finished in the 13th position in this truck.
Got some good sponsors this week. We got GoDaddy on this truck, Setzer with the Tahoe colors on his truck. A lot of new sponsors in the series. That's great to see.
Timothy Peters, I think, also has a sponsor on his truck.
Landon up to 2nd spot. 30.942. A little over 174.5 miles an hour. So he's got to be pretty happy with that run, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great lap for Landon Castle.
Like he's in it hard off too. The thing didn't get too high on him. If he can get through 3 and 4, he might just pick it up a little bit.
You know, you look at the list of guys that Landon has beat already. He's got Johnny Benson and David Starr and Todd Bodine and John Wood, Dennis Setzer. That's a heck of a group of people for this young guy to have beaten in qualifying so far.
That's a pretty good lap right there. Let's see if he improves. Exactly the same time. 30.942. That's to the 1,000th of a second that he hit that one once again. 2nd quick for Landon Castle. An impressive qualifying effort for him. Coming up next, Colin Brown, Brendan Gaughan, and Ted Musgrave.
There's a craftsman in all of us.
First thing I thought of was how upside down I was on my car loan. I'd still be making payments on a car I didn't have.
Lucky for Ron, he had LoJack. His car was returned. LoJack, the most successful theft recovery system on Earth.
This is a photo of our first lumber liquidator store. We didn't have a fancy showroom or an expensive location. Our goal was simply to provide great hardwood flooring at the best possible prices anywhere. Today, as the largest direct retailer of hardwood flooring, we're still not fancy and a bit out of the way, but we continue to have the best hardwood flooring at incredible prices.
2 1/4-inch solid oak utility grade flooring, only 99 cents a square foot. Supreme pre-finished horizontal natural bamboo, just $1.99 a square foot.
Visit your local Lumber Liquidators or lumberliquidators.com.
Of all the numbers you encounter, along your journey to wherever you're going, you'll find there's one number you can always count on for a great night's rest. Super 8, now with free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and more. Super 8, see you along the way.
There's a place where the fire of competition burns more intensely than ever. Where drivers can see their dreams just over the horizon, and where the future's as bright as the sunrise. A place where the sense of community is as close as the racing itself. Welcome to our world, the NASCAR Camping World Series.
Welcome back. Here's your top 10 in qualifying thus far at Lowe's Motor Speedway for the North Carolina Education Lottery 200, which will be run this evening at 8 o'clock. The setup begins at 7:30 to get us ready. And these guys are trying to figure out where they will start in the race. This is Colin Brown on the racetrack. Is Conway Freight number 6.
Second quickest so far for Colin Brown. Great lap. 30.811, about a tenth of a second off Mike Skinner right now. See if he can pick it up a little bit on lap number 2.
You know, we talked about how track sensitive, how this track was so sensitive to the sunlight. Only 2 trucks, and they were just by the tiniest of margins, have been able to qualify faster than they practiced this morning, and most of that practice was done in race conditions. So shows you right quick how much the temperature affects these trucks on this racetrack.
That's about all we had right there. Boy.
Mike Beam telling everybody a great job. Second quickest. First lap was the quick lap for Colin Brown, 30.811.
Young man Colin Brown just finishing up his qualifying effort. Let's go down to another young driver in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, who's with Ray Dunlap.
Chevrolet real good in practice. Brian Scott, what's your prediction for qualifying today?
I think we're going to have a good truck. I believe that the temperatures here right before qualifying are going to be more close to the beginning of practice, when I really felt like we were better and more hooked up. Towards the later end, it started getting hot and the track started getting a bunch of temperature, and we kind of started getting looser and fighting the truck a little bit. So I'm really looking for a strong run out of this Albertson Chevrolet.
Well, they were good in practice. We'll see if it holds up in qualifying.
And Mike Skinner said he didn't get all of it in the qualifying run, but you are top of the board. So where'd you miss out? Where did it hurt you out there, Mike?
We've struggled with our Tundra all day. It's just a grip thing. I mean, we're running a little different air pressure than I'm accustomed to running, and the engineers say that it's going to be the best grip. And I have not been able to get a good hold on it. And the truck was sideways loose through 1 and 2, and it was pushing and loose and sliding and doing all kinds of stuff up there in 3 and 4. So that's not going to be a stellar lap. That won't be a lap that holds up. But it should start in the top 5 or top 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, right now he is at the top of the board, guys.
Well, Mike Skinner obviously was going for a record here. 4 consecutive poles at Lowe's Motor Speedway. He's not too optimistic about it, though. He thinks that he's not going to remain at the top.
Well, everybody's looking at that 51 truck of Kyle Busch. He was the truck that was quick.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with the loose guys.
You hear Brendan, he's agreeing with everyone that talked about being loose. 31.611 on lap number 1 for Brendan. That is his lap of record, and that is 11th of the 14 trucks that have qualified.
Yeah, 3 and 4 are real loose right there. But the front end stuck real good. 1, actually, the late entry turned down and had just enough grip to stick there. But 3 and 4, man, it's loose. Nice job.
So a lot of guys talking about turns 3 and 4, and we've seen it. A lot of guys chasing the trucks up the racetrack in 3 and 4.
When you hear Mike Skinner describe his lap as one that won't get the pole, remember, he knows how to get poles.
Yeah.
He knows what he's gone through there like when he's gotten a pole, and that's why he doesn't have a whole lot of optimism of being able to hold off. I'm thinking probably just one guy. I mean, there's one guy I think that he's just given this pole away to. He knows Kyle Busch can beat him, and he said, so I'm not going to get this pole.
You know, Brian Scott was talking about he thinks that the conditions are more like they were at the beginning of practice.
I believe I'd have a chat with him.
Yeah, I think I disagree with that. I think the conditions are going to be more like they were when they ended practice, when those trucks started getting looser and looser in the heat of the day.
And it's worse than that now, because like I said, that 3rd and 4th turn is laying over there on the east side of the speedway, and that sun as it sets in the west is just heating that turn up, making it bleed a little bit of the oil and greases that the asphalt have in them, and the trucks just aren't sticking through there.
Watch as Ted Musgrave makes his way through 3 and 4 in his first lap of qualifying. Now, Ted Musgrave has some success at this racetrack. He won the first ever truck race at Lowe's Motor Speedway back in 2003.
4 of the 5 races here, he's finished in the top 5 in addition to that win. So 9th quickest, though, on lap number 1 for Ted Musgrave, 31.437, 171.772. 3 top 10s already this year for Ted Musgrave in the 5 races that we've had so far.
Ted Musgrave currently 10th in the point standings, 148 out of the top spot. Ted, one of our former champions of the series.
I wanted to mention something. You know, Ted Musgrave drove for Ultra Motorsports when he won the championship. Jimmy Smith was the owner of Ultra Motorsports. His father, DJ, passed away this week, and we want to send out our condolences to the entire Smith family and let them know that we're thinking about him.
Ted Musgrave finishing his lap. Let's go back down trackside to Adam Alexander.
And we found one of those great racing marriages, Rick. We're talking about Morgan Dollar Motorsports, who needs sponsorship. Landon Castle comes over with GoDaddy.com, and the weekend's off to a great start. You qualified 3rd. Take us through it.
So far we're 3rd. I think GoDaddy.com Chevy Silverado is going to be pretty good in the race, and you know, just really honored to be able to be with Morgan Dollar Motorsports and GoDaddy. I mean, you know, they host domains, great websites. I've had a GoDaddy website myself for about 6 years now, so it's pretty cool to have such a good relationship and go have some good races.
And Landon Castle in this race by race, but they hope it's something that continues throughout 2008. Over to Ray.
Well, let's ask Matt Crafton about this. We've heard about everybody out there saying really, really, really loose, and a couple of guys only doing 1 lap. What's your plan?
I don't know, 2 laps. Hopefully these guys are here and you talk about the really, really loose, because I saw that. I was watching the speed coverage, and it looked like everybody was really, really loose. My teammate, he said he was a little bit loose, so hopefully we've made a few more adjustments to tighten this thing up a little bit. So well, I think we've got a really good race truck tonight. This Menard Chevy Silverado, it didn't really run a really good lap by itself, but it would just keep running lap after lap, and on the average I think it's a really good truck. Definitely a top 5 truck tonight.
We'll check that out and see if consistency will pay off for Matt Crafton tonight here in the North Carolina Education Lottery 200.
Thank you, Ray. And Chad McCumbee is going to start better than he's ever started at Lowe's Motor Speedway in a truck, because the previous 2 starts for him here were 25th and 21st. And now, after 16 have gone, he is 3rd quick. So Chad McCumbee with a pretty good qualifying effort here at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Saturday, the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race is only on speed, and only NASCAR Race Day can prepare you for the sights, the sounds, the drama.
It's a huge day.
It's time to pull the belts a little tighter.
It simply doesn't get any better.
Because this race isn't just a dash for cash.
Winner take all.
It's an all-out brawl. Checkers or wreckers.
I'm excited about it.
Don't miss an all-star edition of NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Live from Lowe's Motor Speedway. Saturday, 4 Eastern. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
Did you know Honda makes portable generators? Well, they do, and they're perfect for camping, working anywhere you need. For all kinds of RV comforts like air conditioning, or for emergency backup. Lightweight and quiet, Honda's got a generator that's right for you. See the CU 2000? 2 of them provided enough power to film this entire commercial. Honda, the power of choice.
You're going to love this new computer. The processor's like 3 gigawatts.
Gigahertz.
And it's got a magical drive.
Optical drive.
And it's got 2 gigs of sheep.
RAM?
All I know is this baby is screaming fast.
Maybe it needs more sheep.
Your computer's only as fast as the network it's connected to. Step up to Verizon high-speed internet and get the speed and security only the Verizon network can bring. Call or go online for the best value in broadband, with internet speeds up to 20 times faster than dial-up, plus 24/7 live technical support from Verizon, all for one amazing low price. And when you sign up today, you'll get a free month of our Verizon Internet Security Suite, the most advanced protection available, plus our online backup and sharing services. Want the speed and reliability only the Verizon network can bring? Call 1-800-409-2515. Or for the best deal, visit Verizon.com/best offer today. Verizon, it's the network.
Welcome back. Mark Mitchell just coming off the racetrack, 6th quickest of the 19 trucks that have attempted qualifying just before Mark Mitchell was on the racetrack. It was Brian Scott's turn, and here he is coming through 3 and 4, and he has his hands full.
Well, you know, he told us that he felt like the racetrack was like it was when practice began. We were questioning that. Michael and I were, and obviously it looks a whole lot like it was at the end of practice, and maybe even worse. He did a nice job not having any more damage than he did. You see a little bit of right rear corner damage on that Albertson Chevrolet, but Brian did a good job not letting that thing really get into the outside wall. But he did not get a lap in, so he will start towards the back of this field.
Justin Marks, the next one on the clock, currently 17th in his first lap, just under 170 miles an hour. 31.788 for his time.
And by the way, Mark Mitchell was one of the 3 trucks that has run faster on his second lap during this qualifying session.
And also one of the very few trucks that actually picked up over his practice time.
So Justin Marks, second lap, 31.697. So he picks up a bit on his second lap, but doesn't move up too much. He's 16th quickest. Let's go to Adam Alexander.
And Rick, something a lot of folks talking about in the 2 weeks off for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. One of the great surprises of 2008. Chad McCumbee in the top 10 in points. And here we are at another 1.5 mile track, and you guys look solid again. Top 5 qualifying run to this point.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they've spoiled me here lately on these big tracks, and we haven't been off the front row. We've already got beat off the front row today, so that's a little disappointing. But, you know, fairly happy with MRD Chevy again. You know, these guys have worked so hard week in, week out. And, you know, we got a small shop, self-sponsor deal, you know, 1-car operation. And per efficiency, these guys are working and doing a great job. So I couldn't ask any more from them. Hopefully we have another good solid run tonight.
And Chad double dipping this weekend. He'll be a part of the All-Star Showdown here tomorrow night in that 49 car.
Chad McCumbee watching, scoring pylon as Matt Crafton now on the racetrack for his qualifying effort.
That truck looked real stable coming to the green and through 1 and 2.
That's one of the better looking trucks that I've seen during this session.
When Matt talked about, you know, his teammate went out there, Shelby Howard was out there on the racetrack earlier and talked about it being just a little bit loose in 3 and 4.
Wasn't quite as good a lap as it looked. It was 11th quickest at a 31.431.
Maybe that's why it looked so good. Wasn't in a bind.
Discretion the better part of valor there.
I'm sure these guys along pit road are well aware of the track conditions being tough through 3 and 4 and are understanding the race is going to start in just a few hours, and there's no sense in compromising tonight for a good lap right now.
Second lap for Matt Crafton as he crosses the start-finish line. An improvement, 31.195. That moves him up to 9th quickest of the 20 trucks that have been on the racetrack. Andy Lally, John Mickle, and Travis Kvapil, they are next to make it on the track. We'll be back with more qualifying from Lowe's Motor Speedway.
It's all you can get from start to finish. A lot of good hard racing, a lot of good side-by-side racing. Tough trucks.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Live coverage from Charlotte begins tonight, 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
NASCAR on Speed.
Be there. I get out and I ride with my buddies every weekend, you know. We go out and get after it. If you hesitate, I'm going right by you. Like today, we hit one section when everyone stopped, second guessed it. I just kept going. Rock here, rock there. I just got a handful, and there she went.
True all-wheel drive, new active descent control, legendary ride and handling. Polaris, the world's toughest ATVs.
If you're not on a Sportsman, I'll meet you back at the truck.
Traffic ahead. Turn right on Josephine Street. Arriving at Park St. Cloud.
DirecTV is doing very well in customer satisfaction. What do we do?
I learned this in business school when I read about business school in a book. We can't improve our service, but we can improve the price. We can make it higher.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
We'll get the people with disposable income, and they can dispose of it to us.
And they don't watch TV. They're workaholics.
They wouldn't know HD if they'd sat in their lap and called them mama.
Get more TV for your money. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
The Rolex Sports Car Series takes to the air Sunday at noon on Speed. VIR was marred by fines and penalties. Now the Rolex Sports Car Series rocks the corkscrew of Laguna Seca, where many teams are hoping to change their fortunes. The Rolex Sports Car Series, Laguna Seca, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific.
You're all over that.
Laguna Seca. Phil's cheering me on up here as we go through that promo. John Mickle off the racetrack. He was 13th quick.
Pretty good lap.
Yeah, not bad at all out of the 21 trucks that have been on the racetrack.
Adam Alexander.
And a tough break for Brian Scott. Fast in practice, and I know this is not the way you wanted to start. How you wanted to start the evening? What happened?
You know, I think I'm going to have to blame it on Ray. He came over and interviewed me before qualifying, and I put my foot in my mouth and said we had a really good truck, and I was expecting to qualify up front. And, you know, just getting up to speed, went into that corner, and first time I felt any sensation out of the car was right there at arc, and it just got loose. And I went to save it and chase up the track, and then to keep from getting into the wall, it just kind of straightened up and tried to turn it a little bit left, and it was just gone. There's nothing I can do, and I hate it for these guys. We've unloaded good and fast, and I had a really good feeling about the race, and, you know, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have been so optimistic in qualifying, or shouldn't have gone for it so hard. And, you know, these guys are great, though. They're going to work their tails off, and we're going to be just fine. We'll have to start in the back, but it's a long race. We'll get up there.
As good as his truck is, it'll be fun to watch Brian come through the field, Ray.
Well, let's talk to Rick Crawford. When we looked at that first practice, I couldn't find you till I looked at the second page. What's the story?
You know, the Power Stroke Diesel team by International brought me a really nice Ford F-150 here. But we've been looking for an attitude adjustment, and Kevin Cowboy Starling's been adjusting this thing, and you know, but we're going to run good tonight, and this 14 truck will be up front. But, you know, the whole NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series garage area is going to miss DJ Smith, and he was just a friend of the whole garage and everybody here with a lot of advice. And what I remember him for, he's always kept you upbeat. He was a good guy.
Absolutely, and you guys will see right here, we have a sticker on the side of the truck. Everybody's running here in memory of DJ. Definitely, we want to thank him for being our friend. Rick Crawford is the first half of the 49-year-old group, and this is the second half right here. This will be Ron Hornaday, and we know that you've got a really good truck, but we've been watching this qualifying. It's been kind of strange out there. What's your observations of watching so far?
I don't know. I keep talking to Jack Sprague, and Rick Rins always does that here, so it's got to go with the Rick Rins theory. So I don't know. We'll find out. It's getting cooler out. Got a late number, so we'll see what the Campbell World Chevrolet can do.
Okay, that is Ron Hornaday. He'll be getting in right behind Rick Crawford. About 3 trucks to go from here.
And Ron Hornaday will go out onto the racetrack right in front of Kyle Busch. So it'll be indicative of what the track is doing once Hornaday goes out there, to see if Kyle Busch will also be able to post a good number.
Pretty good lap in a backup truck for Travis Quapple here. 31.036, 173.991. Remember, Travis is one of the trucks that cut down a tire in practice and made hard contact with the turn 2 wall, necessitated them going to another Zaxby's Ford.
And we got to obviously point out Andy Lally. He went just before Travis and had a really good run. He was 5th quickest at 30.947. So a good run for Andy Lally as well. So Travis Quapple, his second lap, just a bit slower than his first lap, but he's 8th quick of the 23 that attempted qualifying. Ominous clouds over there to the north of the racetrack. We'll be back with more qualifying.
Tuesday, check out Superbikes with host Jason Britton.
If you're not a biker, you're just missing it.
Push it to the limit with Superbikes, Tuesday, 10 Eastern on Speed.
This is a photo of our first Lumber Liquidator store. We didn't have a fancy showroom or an expensive location. Our goal was simply to provide great hardwood flooring at the best possible prices anywhere. Today, as the largest direct retailer of hardwood flooring, we're still not fancy and a bit out of the way, but we continue to have the best hardwood flooring at incredible prices.
2 1/4-inch solid oak utility grade flooring, only 99 cents a square foot. Supreme pre-finished horizontal natural bamboo, just $1.99 a square foot.
Visit your local Lumber Liquidators or lumberliquidators.com.
We should come up with a new Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah, something for fat guys.
Presenting Mike's Hard Light Lemonade.
In racing, the lucky dog is the guy who gets his lap back after a caution flag. But in errands, everybody's a lucky dog. At Aaron's, you can get a lap back on your credit no matter what your situation is because there are no credit checks at Aaron's. You're pre-approved. And Aaron's has the lowest prices on name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers guaranteed. Come see why everybody's a lucky dog at Aaron's. Attaboy, Lucky. Good dog.
Of all the numbers you encounter along your journey to wherever you're going, you'll find there's one number you can always count on for a great night's rest. Super 8, now with free high-speed internet, free breakfast, and more. Super 8, see you along the way.
Tomorrow morning, join Dave Despain with co-host Darrell Waltrip and Mike Joy for a special All-Star edition of Wind Tunnel. Dave takes your calls and lets you sound off before the NASCAR All-Star race tomorrow night on Speed. Don't miss this special edition of Wind Tunnel tomorrow 11 a.m. only on Speed. Stacy Compton coming off the racetrack now. He is 11th quick, 31.171 for Stacy. Rick Crawford now on the racetrack and on the clock as he is getting that truck up to speed, going through 1 and 2.
Was talking to Rick in the garage area right before qualifying, asked him how his truck was. He said, have you ever heard the term wholesale changes? I said, yes, that's what we're doing right now. A lot of Cowboy making a lot of changes to this truck.
I like the changes they made. The
looks
thing
pretty good.
Darn good there. I don't know if he had backed out of the gas to learn about his changes, and it looked good because he was not going that, but that's not the case. That's a solid lap. I like the way that truck looks.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, Ron Hornaday will be on the track next, and Jack Sprague anxious to watch him. I'm sure you guys were unbelievable at Kansas City the last race. You see a prediction of the same kind of a race tonight?
I don't know. The American Commercial Line Chevrolet is really good. I don't feel as dominant now as I did at Kansas 2 weeks ago, but I'm pretty good. I mean, if I can run what I ran in practice, I can get the pole, but everybody seems to slow down a little bit. But race trim, I was really good, and just want to thank Ernie and the guys, everybody at KHI for another great truck, and I'm having a lot of fun again, and I know that we're going to win here really soon, and hopefully we can do it right here in my backyard in Charlotte. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. Glad to see him smiling because the season didn't start out very well for Jack Sprague. Let's go down the other end of pit road to Adam Alexander.
And Ray, TRG Motorsports seeing the fruits of their labor today. Andy Lally in a spin late in that practice session, but the guys fixed it up in an awesome qualifying run.
You know, I got to hand it to these guys. It's easy for a team to stick together when everything's going right, but we've been going through a lot lately, and these guys dug deep and came up with a great truck after we had some issues in practice here, and I got to thank them. The whole TRG Motorsports crew came together here and gave me a real good piece, and that's our best qualifying effort of the year, and I'm real proud of the guys. It helps obviously bring up the morale and everything for the team, and it's just a great thing, especially being here home in Charlotte. All these guys have their families here, and just goes to show you, a lot of hard work goes a long way here.
And Andy will try and finish it off tonight with a solid run in the race.
Looking for a solid qualifying effort is Ron Hornaday going across the start-finish line for lap 1, and he is fastest, 30.544 for Ron Hornaday.
Well, there's 2/10 off of Skinner's time. Now he's looking for somebody to lob another 3 off of it, and Mike will be right on. He said after his lap immediately that'll miss the pole by half a second.
Yeah. You know, Ron Hornaday looks like he has so much confidence in that truck. He gets down to the corner and he just yanks that steering wheel, drives it right down to the bottom of the racetrack. We haven't seen that many guys able to do that, especially at the kind of speed that Ron Hornaday is doing it.
A little bit quicker,
how about a little
lap
faster? 2? Yeah, sure enough, 30.525.
First lap was a 5.4. The second lap was a 5.2. Good job.
Rick Wren letting Ron know, excellent job on the racetrack in his qualifying effort.
We're going to see right quick if that's going to hold up.
I'm going to predict it won't.
Next out onto the track, there he is, Rowdy Busch. Kyle Busch taking to the track for his qualifying effort.
Now, you know, he's got to be careful here. He can't be too confident in this thing. It was perfect in race practice. We know they never made a qualifying run, running high, coming to the green for some reason. Maybe
he thinks it's Talladega.
Maybe he's getting her wound up, Phil. Or it wouldn't turn, one or the other. We'll find out in a minute exactly what happened down there in 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. Excuse me.
He did have her wound up in practice. You know, he ran most of his laps in practice at speed somewhere between 30-40 and 30-80, And right now, a 30-80 would put him about third. So one of his worst laps would put him up in the top 3 or 4.
That thing looked really good down in turns 1 and 2. And now he dives to the bottom.
Just like Hornaday. Just like Hornaday did. Looked like he had the confidence to turn that steering wheel.
His didn't stick quite as good as Ron's, it didn't look like. Got a little sideways, but he is able to keep his foot in, it looked like. And to the top of the board, yes.
He goes right to the top and convincingly. 30.16 for Kyle Busch.
And Skinner was right. He got beat by over a half a second.
Awesome job.
Well, you
Hell yeah, boys. Way to do it. 190, 180.
Telling us temperatures.
Thank you. Oh, she got out in 3.
Yes, she did. But, you know, he drove it from the top of the racetrack to the bottom, and it yawed during that. But evidently, the foot never come up off the floorboard.
Very quick once again for Kyle Busch. He has the provisional pole. We'll find out if anybody has anything for Kyle Busch.
Saturday, the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race is only on Speed, and only one show can prepare you for the sights, the sounds, the drama.
It simply doesn't get any better.
NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturday 4 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, the bike had just vanished, and we were stuck out here.
1 hour later, Tim and Jesse's bike was recovered thanks to LoJack, the only vehicle recovery system used by police. LoJack, the most successful theft recovery system on Earth.
When your engine's running clean, you feel it. And no leading conventional oil helps keep engines cleaner than Pennzoil motor oil. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
At J.G. Wentworth, we say get cash now for your structured settlement.
J.G. Wentworth? Cash now?
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
J.G. Wentworth is right. It's my money and I need it now.
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 If you have a structured settlement and you need cash now, J.G. Wentworth can help. We'll buy all or part of your structured settlement for a lump sum cash amount, so you can pay bills that have piled up as a result of an injury or an inability to work. Call J.G. Wentworth now and speak to one of our structured settlement specialists. You'll get a no-cost appraisal and have all of your questions answered. The call is free and there's no obligation.
It's my money and I need it now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call 866-492-6203. 866-492-6203.
Eric Donnell on the apron after his qualifying effort. 4th quick. It was on his first lap at 30.808. And so that slots him in the top 5 for now. On the racetrack, though, it is Jack Sprague in that number 2 Chevy Silverado.
Now, to me, this cat had the second best truck in practice this morning. And I'm talking race runs as they were preparing their trucks for the race tonight. He could almost match Kyle Busch's pace. It'll be interesting to see what he's able to do on this qualifying lap.
We know he's a good qualifier. His teammate right now is sitting on the outside of the front row.
That thing looked good.
And he's with Adam Alexander. Let's listen to him.
And Ron watching with much anticipation the 2 truck go around this facility, and now watching the pylon to see where he lands. 3rd, 1 spot behind you. What do you think about your lap, Ron?
I didn't think it was going to be that loose. Coming for the green, I got loose, and I just ruined the first lap. So I probably should have backed the corner up and got a little better run for the green flag run. But to pick up as much as we did, and then Kyle Busch to run a 1, that's we got to do our homework. But other than that, real good for the Campbell Road Chevrolet. I mean, don't matter where you start, it's where you finish, and we got a really good truck for tonight.
And 1 year ago, guys, he finished in the top spot here at Charlotte.
1 year ago, Jack Sprague started 3rd in this race, and currently he is 3rd quick in his qualifying effort. A little faster on lap number 2, 30.560, but not enough to move him ahead of his teammate.
You know, talk about a guy that hasn't had much luck here. He's been here 4 times for the Truck Series. 26th is his best finish here for Jack Sprague. He sat on a pole, finished in the top 5 in a Busch race back a number of years ago.
And he just grew up right down the street from here. It's got to be disappointing to come to your home track and perform like he does normally and not able to get the results here at Lowe's.
Terry Cook coming out onto the racetrack, warming the tires up. Here is what happened early in practice
Man, that's a big hit.
Yeah, I talked to Terry down in the garage area after that practice, and he said it looked like, you know, they had just picked up some speed, and it looked like the tire may have rubbed the sway bar arm, and that's what cut it down and really did a number on that truck.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, it's a big disappointment for John Quinn, the crew chief, and all the guys on this team for sure, because the truck that they were going to run is really their mile-and-a-half specialty truck. They ran it at California and Atlanta, and the truck they have for a backup right now is actually one that ran at Bristol a year ago. Now, of course, they've made some modifications to it to be ready to go to mile-and-a-half, but certainly not feeling like this truck that they've got as a backup is going to be anywhere near as good as the one that was their primary. Adam?
And no surprise, Ray, that Kyle Busch, the guy at the top of the board right now, based on what we saw in practice earlier today. So were you satisfied with the result on track, Kyle?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, it was just really good through 1 and 2, a little bit loose into 3, and then just kind of had to chase it up the track a little bit and hang on to it. But was able to maintain there and brought it back in one piece. So far, it's the quickest, so hopefully that'll hold up.
And you've obviously enjoyed a great year in all 3 series, and we understand Toyota has talked to you about possibly getting behind the wheel of an F1 car. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've been just kind of blurbing about it just a little bit. Probably happen in the off season, November, December sometime. Go to Japan for a few days, have some fun, and you know, do a little exhibition deal for the fans out there. I know they get to see Formula 1 cars all the time, but we might even throw a COT over there so everybody can get a chance to see one of those things now.
Should be fun for Kyle Busch, and he certainly deserves it, as successful as these guys have been all season long.
In 2008, he gets in an F1 car. I'm going to bet on it. I'm telling you, the guy can race anything right now. It's his year. Terry Cook really more or less shaking this truck down, it seems like.
Yeah, you could see at the very beginning of his run, before he even took the green flag, how much time he was putting into the tires. Basically, he went out on stickers, and most of these teams are going out on scuff tires. He did not have the scuff tires to do that with because of that earlier incident, so he was just trying to scuff these tires essentially.
When we come back, it's the race within the race. It'll be the 8 drivers that are trying to qualify for the 6 spots. Qualifying continues next.
There's a craftsman in all of us.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate a remarkable car polish. New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on and just wipe it off. It's that easy. And look, New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. So get New Finish.
Available at Advance Auto, Dollar General, Kmart, Walgreens, AutoZone, Target, and other leading stores.
Loctite Power Grab grabs instantly, with 9 times higher initial hold than the leading brand. Without bracing and without hammering. Loctite Power Grab. Project solved.
Race fans, with the NASCAR.com Superstore receiving new products every day, you can be sure to find merchandise for all of your favorite drivers. The Superstore is the official online store of NASCAR, with over 15,000 licensed products for men, women, and kids. Like a collector's edition retro number 88 Mountain Dew diecast, or other commemorative gear celebrating Mountain Dew's history in NASCAR. Shop now and have your gear delivered to your home before race day. Only at the NASCAR.com Superstore.
NASCAR.com, your home for everything NASCAR.
It's the race to make the race in the North Carolina Education Lottery 200 qualifying. Ken Schrader, the first one out. It was supposed to be Timothy Peters. They've got some problems getting that truck started, so Ken Schrader goes out first, and he is 20th quickest. So a pretty good qualifying effort for Ken Schrader. 31.322 on his first lap. Slows down a bit on his second lap, but there's the problems right now for Timothy Peters. If he's not able to get that started and out on the racetrack, well, then there's another spot that they don't have to worry about fighting for. These 8 trucks. Only 6 make it into the field for tonight's race.
They're buttoning it up like they got it figured out.
Yeah, he's on the 5-minute clock right now. But, you know, once he's ready to go, even if the clock were to run out while another truck is on the racetrack, then they would let him go. So apparently they've got that truck started up here.
Adam Alexander.
And when you look at the record for Kevin Harvick Incorporated in 2008 as far as qualifying is concerned, it's amazing. Poles in every race but Daytona and now here, but you and Ron second and third. What'd you think of your run?
It wasn't bad. It drove very similar to what it did in practice. The American Commercial Line Chevrolet is good. I feel like we got a great shot at this thing. I could make it through 1 and 2 wide open, and all day I've not been able to make it through 3 and 4 wide open. Around the bumps, through the bumps of what have you, but apparently Kyle did. There's no way he didn't. So, but that was pretty strong, a 30-18. But that's faster than we ran in practice, and we're second and third, so that's nothing to complain about. We'll see we win the race.
And Jack Sprague has the same truck here that was so dominant and finished second to Hornaday at Kansas a few weeks ago.
Now it's Brian Sockwell's turn. Again, these guys are really racing against 7 other drivers. There's 8 of them that are trying to make it into this field tonight.
And this is going to be tight. These guys were all globbed together with 2 guys going home. Sockwell's going to need to pick that up some, Phil.
Yeah, Brian has run 21 races prior to this and in his career, but his last race in the Truck Series was almost 5 years ago.
We'll see if he's able to pick it up as he works his way through 3 and 4 on lap number 2. His first lap 32.612.
By the looks of the practice sheet, that would not be quick enough to get in. He picked it up quite a bit on lap number 2, almost 0.4 of a second to a 32.226, 167.567. That's right on the bubble of having the 36th quickest time in practice.
That's what's so great about what NASCAR's done. There's those 7 guys, you know, those guys they only care about each other at this moment. Where they start is not important right now. And we've got them all grouped together, going out one after another while the track conditions are as similar as they can possibly be. Makes for great competition and good TV. I like to see who's going to make it and who isn't. And we're going to find out right here as these trucks roll off consecutively.
The drama started for Timothy Peters when his truck wouldn't start, and so obviously now he's got it started. He's on the racetrack. He has to beat 2 trucks of the go or go homers to ensure that he is in the field, and he's making his way now down the back stretch, as this will be his first time lap.
This is the second race with essentially what is Timothy Peters' own team, and they made the conversion. They ran Martinsville with a Chevrolet, and now they have converted that into a Dodge. So he's in the Tahoe Dodge right here.
Let's see how he does on his first lap. Timothy Peters crosses the start-finish line. 31.151. He has locked himself into this race. He's beat Ken Schrader and Brian Sockwell, so he is in the race. Ray Dunlap.
Rick, just to add to what Michael was saying, I agree. I think it's a great policy that all the go-or-go homers are together. But right now, the temperature has changed a great deal on this racetrack from the time we started with qualifying. There was bright sunshine, and this track temperature was pretty warm. Right now, there's a stiff breeze. We're under complete cloud cover, and I would say it's probably 8 or 9 degrees cooler right now than when we started this qualifying.
A little better track conditions really for the guys if it's cooler.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is the fact that these 8 drivers are going to be clumped together. So it's going to be as similar as Michael was saying as it can be. Now it's not going to be absolutely perfect. It may be 2 degrees or 1 degree different at the very end that it was at, you know, with the guy that went out 31st, but nonetheless it's as close as we can get them.
Well, last year there was a chance that one of these guys would draw first and one last, and that's unfair. You know, we saw Donnie Leah go out there, the first truck on the track. He's back in the 31st spot. He's only beat 1 guy that made a lap, and that was Sockwell. When the conditions are that much different, it makes it very, very difficult for someone to overcome. The competition's so close, you can't overcome what the track takes away from you.
Chad Chaffin now on the racetrack, up to speed and on his first qualifying lap as he dives into 1 and 2.
Looks confident in that truck. He drove through 3 and 4 high, coming to the green like we saw Kyle Busch do, and then when he got down to turn 1, he cranked it to the bottom and the thing looked good.
Again, Chad Chaffin, one of the drivers that qualifies here at the end of qualifying. There are 8 drivers trying to make it in to the 6 spots remaining. If he beats 2 drivers, he's guaranteed a spot. And as he crosses the start-finish line on lap number 2, just a tick slower than Ken Schrader, 22nd quickest thus far, 31.355. He's got to pick it up about 3/100ths of a second to beat Ken Schrader.
Well, as stable as that thing looked on the first lap, I'd say he's got a real shot at doing that, Rick. He can give it a little bit more gas. He knows it's up under him. He's got a solid lap in the books. Maybe go ahead and make it back around here and get ahead of Schrader and forget about it. Locked in, done.
And these conditions are a little bit better, as Ray was talking about now. You're not going to have as free a setup on that second lap.
He improves. He is locked in. Chad Chaffin, 31.312.
Got it done by 100th of a second, but he doesn't have to worry anymore. He knows it's in the show.
So right now the man on the bubble, Ken Schrader, but we still have 4 trucks to qualify for 2 more spots.
It's all you can get from start to finish. A lot of good hard racing, a lot of good side-by-side racing. Tough trucks.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Live coverage from Charlotte begins tonight, 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
NASCAR on Speed.
Be there.
We got just what you need to keep your yard beautiful and weed-free. Let's start with fertilizer.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right. Start here. Visit TrueValue.com/TV for a free $5 coupon. Print your $5 coupon at TrueValue.com/.
Do you own a business? Whether it's large or small, building a new facility can seem overwhelming. Get the space you need. Call Anthem Steel today for your pre-engineered steel building. When you look around, you'll see businesses, schools, and churches are using steel buildings to save time and money. Anthem Steel makes it easy for you to get the right building at the right price. A small deposit gets you started, and your design process will begin. Your Anthem representative will work with you to design the building to meet your needs. No hassle, no headache. Don't get caught with rising steel prices. Delaying your project could cost you thousands. Call now and save. Right now, you can get great prices like these for a manufacturing facility, gymnasium, church, warehouse, or maybe just a place to store those toys you've accumulated. If you need to build, call Anthem Steel today.
NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Wayne Edwards coming off the racetrack, and he is the slowest of the 34 that have gone. And so Wayne Edwards right now will be hoping that 2 trucks run slower than he does. But what happened is Ken Schrader gets locked into this field, so he is in for sure. Now it's Nick Tucker's turn on the racetrack.
That's my guy right there. Been in a garage stall running 200 mile an hour. They finally let him loose. Phil thinks maybe this will be a truck in jeopardy of not making this race. I think when Nick sees that open road ahead of him, he's going to mash her down a little harder.
If Nick could go 32.2 seconds, he would lock himself into this field. Brian Sockwell right now at 32.226. Wayne Edwards at 33.052.
That's going to be about a second quicker than what he had run in practice. A little bit wide down there exiting turn number 4.
His first lap, 33.431. He really has to pick it up.
Well, the thing looks tight with him. You know, he got down in turn 3 and 4 and it just went straight up the hill. And then again, Phil, off turn 2, he's a little bit wider than he wants to be. He works for Evernham Motorsports. He's their chassis dyno operator, which means he gets to feel the power of these things, but never gets to move. Has to sit locked down. Now he's getting to move. It's got to feel good.
Unless he gets a major pickup, that will lock Brian Sockwell into the field.
Across the start-finish line for lap 2. Not much of an improvement. A little bit he improves, but he's still 34th quickest.
But he beat Wayne Edwards.
He moves ahead of Wayne Edwards, and that is very big.
That's huge.
He goes 33.025. So it's Nick Tucker and Wayne Edwards right now who have the slowest 2 times of the 8 that are trying to qualify their way in. Adam Alexander.
And it's not easy when the pressure is on and you have got to qualify your way into the race. And Chad, you were able to do it. Congratulations. How's the truck?
Yeah, the truck's pretty good. We're pretty excited about that 20th place. Lance Hooper and the guys did a great job. And, you know, we're really trying to get our program better and better. And It's a pretty good run for us, so I'm excited about that. Look forward to tonight.
All right, so chapter 1 of the book is written. He's in the race. Now he's got to go out and race it tonight, guys.
J.C. Stout racing right now for a shot at running a race tonight at 8 o'clock. Can he do it? Can he get in?
Thing looks like it's got good speed. Drove it right to the bottom of the racetrack. Good line for JC.
He was 28th quickest in practice. He ran a 31:32 in practice, so he should be able to get in this field comfortably if he can get that thing back around to the start-finish line.
Well, it's a good-looking lap, too, right down to the bottom of the racetrack. This will put him in the show for sure.
Crosses the start-finish line for lap number 1. 28th quickest for J.C. Stout. He locks himself in. 31.609 seconds for J.C. Stout.
Looks like he's going to try to grab a little bit more here in lap number 2.
I don't blame him. His truck looks stable. You know, we've seen a lot of trucks run about that same time, wobbling all over the place. He's able to run his 31.60 with that truck right up under him.
We saw Sparks when he went through 1 and 2 and again through 3 there.
Yeah, both ends of the racetrack, but again,
he is locked in, and what that has done by locking him in, it has knocked Wayne Edwards out of this race for sure. So Wayne Edwards will not run tonight's race. The only driver remaining, it actually moved J.C. Stout up a very impressive second lap, 31.444. That moves him up to 24th quickest. Now Derek Cope has to outrun Nick Tucker. Nick Tucker at 33.025.
And you know what the problem is with that?
Yeah, that's a dilemma.
That's a dilemma because that's his team truck. Derek Cope owns both of those trucks, this 74 truck as well as the 73 truck of Nick Tucker. So this is a situation, Michael, that you found yourself in a lot last year.
It was
with 3 teams in the Sprint Cup Series.
If I make it, Rudiman doesn't, or if Rudiman does, Jarrett doesn't. It's really frustrating when you find yourself in this shape. I wonder what Derek's mentality is right now. Which truck does he want in the race, his or the other one? You don't know what sponsorship implications might be riding with Derek. He understands the business model that he's operating under. It looks like to me he's got his foot in it, though. I think he's wanting to put that 74 truck in the race.
I think he's a race car driver right now saying, okay, I want to run tonight at 8 o'clock. Coming out of turn number 4, Derek Cope.
I'd say he will run, so I think that's a good enough lap to do it. What do you think?
I do, too.
Pretty good run for Derek Cope, it looks like, as he crosses the start-finish line.
31st quickest.
That's it, buddy.
And with that, it locks him into the field. So Derek Cope has moved up with his 31.683 mark. That actually knocks Nick Tucker out of this race as well. So the 2 go home drivers are Nick Tucker and Wayne Edwards tonight.
And it's about a second and a half quicker than Nick Tucker, too. So it wasn't like it was, you know, close. He just barely beat him. I mean, he beat him soundly.
So Derek Cope on his second lap doesn't improve, actually slows down a bit, but it doesn't matter. He will be racing tonight in the North Carolina Education Lottery 200 from Lowe's Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch, the fastest in qualifying, 30.160, almost 4/10 of a second faster than second place qualifier Ron Hornaday. A very impressive lap for Kyle Busch. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. Here's some numbers for you. Tonight is the 106th race for Toyota, and Kyle Busch gets their 50th pole. That's a pretty impressive number. Whenever we heard you in practice towards the end of the day, you guys didn't do a mock qualifying run, and you said you weren't really worried about qualifying, but it worked out pretty good.
It did work out pretty good for us. You know, we weren't necessarily too worried about getting out there to make a mock qualifying run. We figured our truck was good enough in race trim, and we've come from pretty far back here before, and so we just wanted to get a good solid lap in to put the truck in the show. And 1 and 2 stuck so good. I tried to do it wide open like Jack thought I did, but I didn't. I couldn't hold it. So she slipped a little bit, just had to back off of some and get out of the gas a little bit just to make the center, and then got a good exit. So all in all, it ended up all right. And our Mikasuki Toyota is able to come out of here with a pole, and we got to thank those guys and NOS Energy Drink for helping us out.
What is it about this racetrack, Kyle? 2 victories here already, and you look like you're going to be strong again tonight.
I don't know. It's just it's a fun place. This is where it all came together for us here a couple of years ago. So you know, pretty special place, and we have a lot of fun when we come out here. And the trucks, the nationwide cars, I've always been able to run pretty well here. I've struggled in the Cup cars somewhat, but we're trying to turn that around here on the other side now.
Well, he was fast in practice today, and Kyle Busch on the top of the board once again, and everybody's going to be gunning for the 51 tonight here at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Take a look at our starting grid for tonight's race. Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday, Jack Sprague and Mike Skinner. Skinner had won the 3 previous poles at this racetrack. Consecutive poles back-to-back, and then all of a sudden, a young man by the name of Kyle Busch comes along and posts an extremely quick lap.
You got teammates in row number 3, Colin Brown and Eric Darnell for the Roush Fenway operation.
A couple of young cats in row 4, and Chad McCumbee and Landon Castle. Solid runs for those guys. And Andy Lally spun out in practice, didn't get back out in practice. Next time on the track was qualifying top 10.
Travis Quapple also a backup truck in row 6. So an impressive qualifying effort for him, going out there pretty much cold with not knowing what was going to be underneath him.
A couple more teammates back in row number 7. Scott Speed on the inside for Bill Davis and Johnny Benson on the outside in the 23 Toyota.
We've talked about repeatedly how strong Todd Bodine is on these mile-and-a-half tracks. He had so much optimism before practice, talking about a test that they had at Darlington this past week. Only good enough for just outside the top 20.
21st starting position for Todd Bodine. We'll have to see if he can make his way up toward the front once again and have another dominant run at a mile-and-a-half racetrack. Terry Cook, another one of those drivers that had to go to a backup truck. We saw him really more or less make a shakedown of that truck in his qualifying effort.
John Nichols is going to make the trip over from England. We'll start in the 13th row.
Good qualifying effort for John. You see Jason White there down in the bottom of the field, but he and a couple other guys, Donnie Leah, they went out first. This track's a lot different right now than it was when qualifying first started.
Guys that missed the field from Lowe's Motor Speedway: Wayne Edwards, Nick Tucker. Nick Tucker, obviously some fun times for him today as he was able to get out onto the racetrack and run some laps, but won't be able to race in tonight's race. The guy who starts up front, though, will be Kyle Busch. Now, can anyone stay with him? He showed us during practice that he has a very dominant truck in race trim.
He really was, and he's obviously the truck to beat. He's been the truck or car to beat just about every race he's been in this year in 2008. But you know, you never know what's going to happen with these races, and there's a lot of guys that will be gunning for him. And I think Adam's caught up with one of those guys right now.
Yeah, Roush Fenway Racing looks good in row 3. The outside Colin Brown, inside Eric Darnell. You guys in the top 5. Good run.
It was a pretty good run for a Northern Tool and Equipment Ford. I was actually really happy with the truck in race trim and practice. We didn't really have a good mock qualifying run. You know, that's why we're only back in about 14th or wherever it was. But I feel really confident about the race tonight. You know, we were good today. I don't know how the heck Kyle Busch put up that lap. That's a fast lap for qualifying there. But we're happy with the 5th place run, and hopefully that'll translate over into a good race tonight.
This team has had some bad luck, looking to gain some momentum, going into a stretch where he runs 7 consecutive weeks. Darnell starts 5th, guys.
So an impressive run for Eric Darnell, and he mentioned how his teammates right next to him, Colin Brown, so they will have a good run at this field tonight. It is the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. The setup show begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Chris Devoto, so you won't want to miss any of that action. And then the race, the green flag, will start just after 8 o'clock. So a great race we're expecting here from Lowe's Motor Speedway once again. Coming up next on Speed, it's going to be qualifying for the All-Star race.
Under the lights here, it doesn't get any better than being under the lights here. We have the yellow walls because it's All-Star weekend. We're going to have the whole weekend on Speed. We're going to kick it off tonight with a truck race.
Kyle Busch won back-to-back races here in 2005 and 2006. Skipped last year. It was Ron Hornaday that found victory lane. Can he get back to victory lane and get back closer to the top of the points chart here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series? We're going to find out later tonight. Stay with us here on Speed.